Alright, this is Danny over here with Hector Canales at UIPW, East LA, baby. I've got a little interview to ask him a few questions. First, we're going to ask you just a little bit of history about yourself. I know most people already know about you, but maybe a few people don't, if you can give a little history.
Well, actually, a lot of people, they don't know the actual, like, I guess, the Hector Canales before the real man. You know, well, before the, you know, the pink tights real man. I actually started off trying to, I'm Salvadorian, hecho en El Salvador, but I was born here, like a lot of us, you know. But my tag partner is Mexican. Well, he's Mexican. My old tag partner was Mexican, and so we went out as Los Chidos, and we were supposed to be these strong Mexican tag team. And at the time, Los Guerreros had been hot for a while, and then, you know, Eddie went off on his own and won the world title by himself and whatnot. So we were trying to pick off some of that, trying to like imitate a little bit of that, but it didn't work. It didn't work because we were pochos, and people knew that, and so
they feed off that real quick.
Yeah, so but that's the thing, that we'd go out to shows and they just straight out call us pochos, and we kept working at it. Then finally the people started getting behind us, but we had to change the name because we couldn't be Los Chidos because there's already a real strong, famous indie tag team named Los Chivos. You know, Mexican, you know, Lucha Libre right there. So they told us to change it up. We changed it to Sangre Pesada, and so it was sounding a little better. We were coming out with these Mexican colored tights, both of us, which I look kind of funny in because I didn't have an upper body. I was really white, you know, really pale. My partner, maybe because he saw me, like, I'm just gonna wear a shirt. So he wore a shirt most of the time, and we're getting there, and then he ended up saying, you know what, I'm out of here. And so it was just up to me to keep going, and just I ended up tweaking the character a little. I painted it some with just Vienna Latino style. I took some a spray can, a red and a green one and a white one, and I painted these black tights. That went yeah. And I'm right there, and then all of a sudden I get in the ring and all the spray paint will come off and I ruin a bunch of canvases and whatnot. But yeah, so I just kept working at it, basically working at my craft, training, wrestling, working my regular job and whatnot. And then finally, at the place I was wrestling at in Anaheim, they didn't know what to do with me because I was half and half. I still hadn't gotten there, and they wanted something out of me, so they turned me into the heel because they didn't have any heels. Once I turned into a heel, I was able to tap into that inner charisma I hadn't been able to really show. Like, I already had some charisma in the ring, and I could see it. Like,
man, set it off though. I mean, it just kind of springboarded you to the next thing.
Yeah, and it was almost like a lot of people look at me and they think that I've always been a jock because he goes to the gym. He's got a nice looking body, okay body. He's a jock. I was always the nerd. I was the guy sitting at home who would rather watch The Simpsons, eat some cookies, and play his guitar.
Hey, that's my lifestyle right there. That's the last 20 years of my life right there. Sitting at home watching The Simpsons. We got better to do now.
Well, I didn't have anything better to do. And now it's like, if people see me now, like, really? That's Hector? Yes, I like to sit in front of the TV, have a Pop-Tart, a glass of milk, and watch Star Trek, the original series.
That's old school.
I've been getting into Star Trek. But, so, I was able to, like, get that little frustration of people making fun of me in junior high school. Even after that. And I was able to take it out on the people. And it worked, like, just being able to pretend to be a bad guy was just fun.
It is, actually. That's what I hear from a lot of heels. They said it's just great to go out there and piss off the crowd. You know, it really gets things going. So when you're beating up the main good, main good guy, the crowd just jumps on you like that, and people just love it. They do. They love to hate you.
There was and then from there I started like changing it up, and just to forward a little, a few years, I got myself a new tag team partner, and we started. It was pretty similar to Los Chidos, but we were heels, and we went as the Latin Heartthrobs, myself and Val Viper, and we would wear jeans, we would wear bandanas. I'd tear my wife beater up, and then I tell my partner, hey, you pick a couple, I'll pick a couple, and we met a couple like a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, and wife. And we'd go, and in my mind was, I'm gonna break this couple up, and at the end of the night, I'm gonna end up with that woman. And because I don't, particularly like her smile, I'm just gonna get rid of her and get the girl at the bar. So that was my mindset. I'd go and I'd just stand in front of the guy and the girl and be like, that's what you call a man? Huh? Look at this, and I just get on, and throughout the whole match, I'd get on the corner and just point at them, and so the people knew, like, oh, and they look at that couple. Though, business point of view, it wasn't good business because the next show they wouldn't show up.
Oh yeah, there'd be a little bit of animosity.
They probably wouldn't be there. They probably wouldn't even be together anymore. That's messed up. But yeah, so that was my whole mindset. Like, I think it was Ric Flair, I forgot who it was, but somebody said, pick one person out of the crowd and just keep going at it. And that's something I was doing when they first turned me heel. It was the first time me turning heel. But it was that sense of rush that I can control the crowd. I can control the way, the emotion of the people, whether they cheer or they boo. And so if I'm beating up on the guy and I know I'm doing a pretty good job, I could stop and just relish.
Enjoy the moment.
And then have the people just, you're such a dick. Stuff like that. But yeah, that was the whole transformation of this puny guy who wanted to be a ref because he didn't think he could hang being in the ring with all these men. Because I would look at these wrestlers I was training with. They were all men. They had hair in places I would never have hair. I got one chest hair, and you can only see it with a microscope. That's all I got. I don't grow hair. Like right now, I've been growing facial hair for more than a month. This is all I got.
It don't feel so bad. I'm doing the same thing. I get the Cody Rhodes going right there.
and so, and on top of that, I'm pretty awkward. I'm a nerd. I'm pale. I'm out of shape. Well, not out of shape. I can run and stuff and catch my breath. But as in the shape that you want to have to look like a wrestler, I didn't have it. I had one thing though, and that was inside, and that was something that I probably never told. I told a few people, and a lot of people tell me, that I'm trying to be like Eddie Guerrero. Actually not. I try to avoid it. I do like the Three Amigos, but I stop at 2, only because I feel like I don't deserve to do the third one. That's why I never do the third one. But when I was fortunate enough to meet Eddie Guerrero, and when I met him, and like I said, I've only told a few people, I started thanking him. Like, thank you for everything you've done. You really represented us so well. And it was a moment where I had some time because they were trying to get the camera ready and whatnot. And it was you could say by coincidence that it jammed. So I was able to like stand there and hold his hand just for a little bit and just Eddie, wow, you're a lot shorter than I thought that you looked like on TV. Of course, I didn't tell him that.
That's what you want to tell him.
But I remember just thanking him and him saying, brother, and he stopped for a moment, and I think he felt that there was a moment. Hey, I can take my time, and I can actually tell him something. Like it's in all of us. And he like points at taps my chest, taps his chest. It's in all of us. It was like, and that I never. I think I told my daughter that. I think I told my wife that, and my old time partner that. But I think because it was with me, I was able to like actually catch it, and it clicked, and it hit right in. Stuff I was doing in the ring, it just started clicking. Like, and it's not like easy. It's not an easy thing to do to come out and just connect with the crowd. It's difficult. It's not something you're completely born with, you know? Like some people, like, yeah, you could say that guy was born to play the guitar. That guy was born to act. That guy was, you know, myself, I think I was born to pain.
You do a good job.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely good things, but we go to places, if you're there, we definitely like to go to see because we know we're going to get a great show. The crowd's going to go off, and everybody's going to receive it real well. You know, you know, it's something to feel, you know, but everybody loves it, everybody sees off. It's always a great show. That's why we wanted to interview to get the inside story.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I told my story, I guess, various times, and there's a few differences in it, but it's I guess the mood I'm in. Like right now, I'm just in a.
You look pretty carefree to me, man.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm always kind of carefree now. Like now, I'm always kind of carefree. It's just right now, I can't believe they have water in the pool. You know. Any more questions?
Just one more last question.
Right.
I don't want to take any more time. We always, you know, since we're a silly little tabloid website, we do a lot of silly stuff. You've seen it. One is, what's your most embarrassing and the most funniest moment that you've had in the ring? I know there's plenty of them. In the ring. I know there's probably been plenty of them over the years. But what's the one that you hold dearly and that you think about it and it just makes you laugh and you're like, oh God, I can't believe that happened? Or, I mean, there's always one of those moments. You know?
All right. Again, here's another little inside story. I was trained by the Ballard brothers.
All right.
And if Shannon or Shane are watching this, listening to it, I know that you guys didn't think much of myself and Caesar when we first started. But I hope, and I think I did prove them wrong, and I think they're happy about that because every time I see them, they're happy to see me, and I am extra happy to see them. I'm always grateful for what they gave me. And the other day I was actually thinking, because I was so just burnt out on the wrestling, I was thinking, dicks. You know, why do they have to teach me this? I love this so much. And I do. I love it. No. We'll see. Like, when God tells me, hey, okay, it's time. And it's time. Right now, I know it's not time as much as sometimes I'm literally like, I'm praying and sometimes I'll say, Lord, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm burning out here. And I guess like, I could just feel that warm hand on my back, like it's okay. And it's kind of reminiscent of when I rub my wife's back and she feels it, I see her face kind of like relaxed, like she knows it's okay. So I feel, yeah, it's very comforting to be in the presence of God. So comforting. But with Shane and Shannon, as they saw that I wouldn't quit, but they saw that I was scared, and I was scared of asking them, how do you become a ref? Because this thing hurts. I can imagine. I don't want to take all these hip tosses, arm drags and body slams, suplex, crap, my head's upside down. For myself, for my sanity, for my family, I need to be cemented in the Word of God. Because you can easily lose yourself in this. I mean, easily lose yourself. And I did. I almost lost it all. I completely almost lost it all. And there's everywhere hay de todo. And everywhere there's everything for you, good or bad. And these days, mostly bad. Mostly bad. And yeah, it's a tough business to try to stay level-headed. You think you're level-headed, but really you're not. You think you're on the right road, but yet you are completely lost and you've turned off your GPS, you know? And you don't even have the old book. I still have mine in the trunk. The old books, because my dad taught me how to read a map a long time ago. So
everybody uses GPS.
yeah, now everything's
book anymore. It's old school. Man.
So now, you know, it's really tough. But you had brought up UFC and the MMA. Those guys are tough. Those guys are legit tough guys. If you're in there and you can take a legit punch to the face, man, my hat's off to you.
Multiple sometimes.
Yeah,
and those guys take some beatings. I've seen it. You're like, damn, that's
but
crazy.
and I'm not in. I love watching it. I'm into it, and I love studying it because it's a craft of. I could take that real beating and turn it into entertainment to entertain my fans. Would I ever get into the octagon? No. Because it's not for me. It's not for
That's
me.
a whole different spectrum.
Yeah.
We like you as what you're at right now. We don't want you to be the MMA. We'd rather have you right here.
But
East Los or Southgate or wherever you go, you know what I mean?
with those guys, it's a tough thing. But they could only do it every couple months.
Yeah, they don't do like what you guys do,
No,
where you do
no.
4 shows a month, sometimes even more than that, I've seen.
Yeah, right now I'm wrestling more than 4 times a month.
'Cause every time I see your thing, it's always you're in the Valley, you're in Southgate, AWS, you're here. I mean, you're everywhere. So
I try to at least be booked once a week. And thank God that I have been. And at the same time, I'm like, oh my God, I want to be home. I got a lot of things. I still got to fix the bathroom door. Jeez, man, I really got to fix the bathroom door, you know? But if I stand back and I look at the big picture, I praise God. I praise God. He's wonderful. He's been very good to me. Yes. But we're talking about the embarrassing moment in the ring. Sorry, I ended up going.
Hey, this is all gold right here. This is gold.
Talking about the Ballards, so going with the Ballards every time seeing them. After a while, they started like teaching me, like I said, all this stuff hurts, and I wanted to be a ref. But I kept at it, till I think they saw that something that's inside all of us. And so they started kind of taking me under the wing a little. They started taking me to a little bit more shows. Shannon started helping me get booked in other places, so I started working more. And then all of a sudden, I started seeing, like before he was very serious. I started really seeing his comedic side, and I started seeing Shane Ballard's comedic side. And it wasn't just in the back, in the locker room. Now all of a sudden when we would wrestle each other, that locker room comedy started spilling into the ring. And that's when things get weird. Like,
it's the fan too, trust me.
Yeah.
We love it when it spills out into the ring because we know it's going to be a great match, it's going to be entertaining.
oh yeah. And once you see, when you get that, you get so relaxed, and it's all about let's entertain, let's have fun, and that's the best part. We were doing a show in Arizona. Actually, no, first we were doing a show out in Oceanside for SoCal Pro.
Yes.
And me and Ricky were trying to get the tag team championships. Shannon body slams me. And then I don't know what he's gonna do, and he doesn't say what he's gonna do. He just goes on top, jumps off. I'm like, what's he doing? And stomps right on my stomach. He gave me such bad diarrhea that night.
You was on chorro in the morning.
Yeah, no, not in the morning.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, and at that time, I was running around with girls and stuff, and so I'm talking it up with this girl, you know, and I'm being the Latin heartthrob, hey baby, all this stuff at a restaurant after the show,
Right.
you know, and here's all the wrestlers are in the restaurant too. We're having beers and eating pizza and stuff. Of course, remember, this is before I was sober. Okay, before I was sober. I'm trying to talk it up with this girl. I'm actually doing a good job, and I just can't hold it anymore. I run to the bathroom, and Shane Ballard pops out. I'm like, Shane, just because I don't like going to public restrooms.
I'm the same way, dude. I don't like to. I'd rather do it at my own place.
Yes.
Especially if you're number two.
Yes.
I'll be at my own pad, dude. I don't think that's somewhere else.
Pee, I could go behind a tree and pee. But number two, I cannot go in a public restroom. So I told Shane, stand in front of the door, don't let anybody in. You're like, what? Please, I got bad diarrhea. So I'm in the bathroom and I'm having it out. I'm sweating, you know? And
it's always rough when you have to sweat.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, man, I'm in here and the girl's outside. I'm losing the girl and I'm having it out with my ass right now, you know? And it's so frustrating and my stomach's just, it's that when you hear all the grinding in your stomach, you're like, no, and you're just trying to plead with your insides, please stop, you know, and holding on and stuff. Anyways, it went bad, man, it was bad. And so I always had, that was a little story we would tell people in the back, well, at least Shannon Valor will tell people like, hey, Hector, remember when I gave you diarrhea, when I stomped on your stomach and I gave you diarrhea? Hey, and he tapped other people, hey, let me tell you this story. Hey, so me and Hector, we were wrestling, and I jump off the top rope, and I didn't tell him anything. I stomped on his stomach, and I gave him diarrhea. Remember you were trying to talk to this girl? So anyways, like 3 years later, we were having a match in Arizona. And we both end up on our backs. And here we are, like, okay. We're trying to make the tag, he's still down. I crawl on top of him. And instead of like trying to go for the cover, I go make the tag. But instead of going straight to make the tag, I make sure that I get my receipt, my comeback here. So I noticed he's facing up. Okay. So what I did is I dragged my whole crotch slowly up his face. And the whole time I'm just looking down, just laughing. and he's just like looking up, like, oh, and he doesn't curse, but I think he almost cursed then, you know? And he's just like, oh man, and it's just, my crotch is just lighting up his face. So those are the good times. Huh?
Did he stick the tongue out at least?
No.
I saw the picture that you had on your, what you call that you posted. You had homeboy right in the corner post and you put that Gusto.
That Gusto. Yeah, that's one of the things, that was one of the evolution, I guess, of the Hector Canales character, the Chilo character that evolved. I've always wanted to do that. And I think I ended up coming up with it, and nobody wanted to take it. No one was okay with, yeah, I'll let you punch me in the face with your crotch.
Maybe too many they're gonna watch.
Yeah, and so I ended up, I think, I finally told some guy, hey, I want you to do that to me. And it worked so great. I'm like, and in my head, I'm telling myself, I knew this would be great. I knew it. I don't think that guy ever did it again. But I was able to, I guess, I don't know when I became a veteran, but I guess I became a veteran in wrestling for a few years. I was able to get some guys who were pretty green and say, hey, I'm going to give you this move. Instead of asking, could I do this move to you? No. I just said, hey, I'm going to give you this move. Okay. Like, oh, cool. Maybe
sometimes that's what you gotta do, though. I mean,
No,
you
yeah.
gotta force the agenda to get things done, because most people are not gonna be down for it all the
Yeah,
time. So
yeah.
you gotta balls out.
Yes, going balls out. That's something that you gotta just remember. If you're gonna get in the ring, sometimes you gotta go balls out. It doesn't mean I'm gonna hit you 10 times over the head with a chair. It just means bring it out. The stuff you haven't, like Rocky. You ever seen Rocky Balboa? The last one, Rocky 6, where it says, I have this stuff in the basement. You gotta take that stuff out. You gotta wrestle that match like if it's the last match of your life. If you go out there and you wrestle, it's meant, I got another match tomorrow. I ain't gonna do
So
it.
many wrestlers like that. You know, I've been doing this for about 2-3 years, going to shows. There's the wrestlers like you that bring it all out, and you get fun, you get excited. But there's so many wrestlers that just don't really have a vision. I mean, they just go through the motions, they do their match, the crowd moves, and they leave. And it's just like, dude, what was it, 15 minutes of that? You know, I mean, I'd rather see 5 minutes of somebody going crazy than 15 minutes of what you just did. You know?
Yeah.
And it's sad because you don't see a lot of that. That's why people like you and there's a few other people who got charisma, they got, like you said, it's in them that really make this, coming to these shows a lot of fun. Really has. But yeah, well, I'm gonna close it on that note right now. Hector Canales is gonna be at LSA next week. Moose Lodge, Imperial, and Carmenita, I'll be there. Hopefully everybody else will be there.
I'm going to bring a kiddie pool because this is just too comfy. I'll be the only guy in the kiddie pool too.
You'll be drinking with all the homos in the bar. Okay, well, I really appreciate your time, Hector. Great interview. You're a great guy.
Thank you.
And all right.
All right, brothers. God bless.